Okay, here we go. After so long, finally. And I got no light shining on my face. Whatever. Alright. Alright, guys. How y'all doing? This is, I don't know what to say. I'm so out of practice with this intro, so I'm just not even going to try. And this has been so long in the making that I don't even know why I didn't do it. Just make so many excuses. Sorry. First off, yes, I'm alive, still alive. Just back home. Kind of bored out of my mind with studying for the ASVAB and everything like that. And so I'm gonna have to put this on the back burner. I can still edit all the stuff that I have, but once I run out of those, I'll have to stop. Maybe I can edit the 50 sub special, which I still have not done yet. Whatever. But this video is a bit more serious to the other ones. It's another I don't know how to really say this religious one. Yeah. So if you don't want that, if you don't want to listen to this, you can click off the video. I have other videos that you can watch. Probably months back that they're uploaded, but yeah. So if this is what I'm going to talk about. So if you don't want to listen to this, just click on the video because this is not going to be for everybody. But this is something I just need to do, and I've been needing to do it. But so without further ado, let's get to this. All right. Oh, as y'all know, um, I made a 5 column video a while back, and it got a couple of I'm so out of practice with this. Good views, more than I thought they were going to on a religious video, and something I did way in the past. I'm just gonna say I did it because I don't even know. I don't even remember when I did it. But recently I watched Facing the Giants again. If y'all don't know that movie, it's a really good sports religious sports movie. I guess I really don't know the category of it. Um, but it's about this coach has a failing football team, and he just leaves it in the hands of God, and God does so much with it. And I'm gonna tell y'all I got a bunch of notes here, so sorry if I'm gonna read off a bunch of paper because it's just too much to remember. Um, but I've watched this movie like 20 times, and it came out back in 2001, I think. It's an old movie, and it's old. Um, but just seeing that movie, I'm not gonna lie, it made me cry because there's just the impact that it had on me, basically. And I'll tell you why it had an impact on me. Um, and I'll be making another video on um, sharing the gospel because that's another video I needed to do. And I needed to do it at college, but it didn't happen. So I'm gonna start with this rambling. That's that's what this is gonna be about. It's gonna be about facing the giants. So spoilers for it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Click off the video, go watch it, and then come back. And yeah, I don't even know what else to say, and I'm just gonna get back into it because I'm just gonna keep rambling and rambling and rambling uh, on about anything if I keep talking about nothing. So here's the notes. First off, I learned about Grant. Don't remember his last name, but the coach. And I have these in categories of before, after, during, and after God's intervention. I guess you want to say it. So before, Grant literally had nothing going for him. His car was broken. I think my his car was breaking down. His house was in disrepair. Stove didn't work. His washers, dryers didn't work. He had a smell in his house that he couldn't find. Um, yeah, nothing went for him. And on top of all that, he could not have children. Um, well, I'll get back into that. No, actually, you find out later in the movie that he can't have children because of him, and they've been trying for so many years and they just can't have it. And that ultimately is what breaks him down and says, "Okay, Lord, I need your help," and stuff like that. And another thing I'm pretty sure is, yeah, and then with his job, everyone thinks he's a failure. The first game of the season, they literally lose badly, and then everybody's like, I hope that's not the rest how the rest of the season is gonna go, coach. And so like that, then a bunch of other, um, I guess administrators. I don't really know what they're called. Parents, and they just all go up in a group and talk and say just how bad he's doing, how they need to fire him, or this football team is not going to go anywhere. And so he was literally about to get fired. And like I said before, he needs the job because he's done so much. He's just trying to go through it, but he's not doing anything that he's not blaming God for any of it. He's just going along with the punches, going with life. But what makes a difference is when he asks God for help, because through it all, even when when he found out he could not have children, he just gave it all and said, "Lord, if you never give me children, so be it. I will still praise you. I will still praise you." And it's just that we need to have that kind of attitude. Some people maybe just like the Coach Grant is or was. I need to say you're just life is just awful. So you're struggling with financial. You're doing everything. You think you're doing everything right. Keep going. Keep asking God for help, because He rewards those who don't blame Him for all the things that. How do I word this right? He rewards those who praise Him. If you keep blaming Him for everything, it's like, oh God, you gave me this, you gave me this. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Well, in spite of God, you can ask Him why, because if you didn't, you're not a human. um, and He even asked why, but He didn't ask it in an accusing way. He was just broken down in tears and just, why, Lord, why is everything happening to me? He wasn't blaming God. He was like, God, why are you doing this to me, Lord? He said, God, why is this happening to me? There's a difference, and God rewards those who keep praising Him through the storm, basically. And so that's on a tangent. Yeah, everyone thinks he's a failure. Sorry, I can't get him to go through my notes. The other one is he's lost confidence in himself. He let all the people get to him and said, I'm a failure. I'm a failure at coaching. I'm a failure at being a husband. I'm a failure. I can't provide you for talking to his wife, and I can't provide you with children. I'm a failure at life. He was ready to give up. Just give in. Next was that, like I said, he was asking God why. Why is this happening to him? But again, he wasn't accusing God of it. He was just saying, why is this happening to me? And then, even before God intervened, he still prayed, and he was still faithful. He didn't turn his back from God. He went straight to God. And he was still faithful through the thick and the thin. Even his wife was. She saw one scene. She saw that he was struggling with confidence, and she prayed, and she was still faithful through all of it as well. And here comes the daring. That morning, he gets up and just starts spouting verses from a Bible. I forget the verse. I should have wrote it down. I knew I wasn't gonna remember it, but it was something about you will lead me away from giants, and all the giants that come near me will fall before your feet and stuff like that. Like basically saying that you will conquer all my giants and you will erase all my fear. And that's literally what he asked God to. Lord, just take away my fear. I'm scared, Lord. Just I don't remember what exactly he said, but he said, Lord, tell me what to do. Show me the way that you want this program to go. Lord, if you don't give me children, so be it. I will still praise you and still be faithful to you. And that's all it takes for him to reward you. And then another was, he asked the hard questions. Lord, what do you want me to do? Not just, if you don't ask, how do I put this? Sorry, it's been so long, and I'm just forgetting my words. He asked the hard questions, and said, "Lord, what do you want me to do?" He wanted to take action. That's what I'm getting at. It's something to ask the question, but it's another thing to take action. He asked the question, and then took action by actually doing and writing down, saying, "Okay, this is the new team philosophy." And he changed the whole football program. And the last thing, yeah, basically that. I guess I do remember some of the notes. He was led to change the football program by one thing. He changed the philosophy of the team. They're not playing to win games. They're playing to honor God. Not even playing. Everything that they do is honoring God. In the classroom, at home, surfing the internet, in a team, and with your family and friends and your parents. You will still honor God through all of that. If we win, we praise him. If we lose, we praise him. And that is what changed the football program. That one philosophy, just saying all of that, and him taking action is what led God to change and intervene in the football program. And I'm sorry if you can't hear me still messing with the mic, and I'm getting farther away because I'm getting intense with it. Sorry, but this really, like I said, this really got to me. And then after he changed the football program, he changed. I'll go through all the. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. 3 other characters that I talked about, and not as much as the main character, but all right. And then after you see God change the school, and saw God change the school in the way that the team. Sorry, my notes didn't make sense there. Saw God change the school and the way that the team acted. The team got better grades. They got better playing. They got better teamwork. They gained confidence. So many people on that team were like, "Oh, we've already lost," and so every time they were like, "Oh, well, we're gonna lose this game. There's no point in trying." All that mental, it changed instantly once he kept leading that philosophy. It changed. It changed into, I can't do this, to I can do this with God's help. And I love that. And another thing after is God met his needs that he needed. Like I said, he rewards those who are faithful to him through the thick and the thin. He provided for his needs. He gave him a truck. When his car broke down, he gave him a truck. He provided for his needs when he needed money. He gave him a raise because the football program was actually going somewhere. So he got a raise to where he could actually meet the needs of his household. And then what always gets me, and I'm probably about to tear up as well, he gave him a child. When the doctors said, you can't have children, God said otherwise. God said, here's a child. I'm giving you a child. Your wife is pregnant with a child. Yeah, I'm about to tear up as well. Just that impact that it makes. All the blessings that just went with him. He met the needs, and again, spoilers for people who haven't seen it, but they go to state and they meet the Giants, the Cleveland Giants, I think, and they're a big team. They're 86 people to 32, and he meets the needs. He didn't have to do that. God didn't have to. God did not have to let them win, but he did it because he can. He kept giving him blessing after blessing after blessing, getting tongue-tied, just because he was faithful through all the hardships. And he will do the same to you if you just praise him through all the mess that's going through your life. It does not matter what. You may be thinking to yourself, you don't know what I'm going through. God does. God does. He knows exactly what you're going through. Because he knew what I was going through. And he changed my life. And I'll talk more about this in the other video. But I didn't think I was worthy. Quote unquote, definitely not holy, but worthy enough to share the gospel because I had so much mess in my life. And I'm not going to go into detail because it's just, I won't go into detail with the other video, but it's just a struggle that I had in my life was just keeping me from everything. I wasn't reading the Bible. I wasn't praying. I turned my back on God. But he did not turn his back on me. And he will never turn his back on me. And just that, I did a 180 turn to him, and he showed me, no matter what you're going through, you are always my child, and I will love you, and there's nothing that you can do that will separate me from you. I will always be there. And so he said, it doesn't matter what you're going through. You still have a job to do. And that's what all the children of God have a job to do, is go out and share my gift to the world. You share it with the world. Because where you're weak, I can make you strong. Because I'm most weakest at talking. And this is a perfect example. In my wildest dreams, I never imagined myself talking to a camera. You may think it's easy. Staring at this camera screen, I can imagine in my head maybe not even just 12 people. Like just my friends. I'm talking directly to them. And it probably doesn't make sense to you, but it makes sense to a lot of YouTubers who just stare into a camera screen, but they don't see a camera. They see people. And it makes it so much easier. But to me, that makes it so much scarier. Because I have stage fright. I cannot go up in front of a group of people and start speaking without hyperventilating, almost passing out, and just start rambling and losing breath because I forget to breathe. And a lot of people who have stage fright can agree with me that it's the scariest thing ever when you just, it could be 3 people, you just cannot speak in front of them. And like I said, just talking to this camera screen, I'm not seeing a camera. I'm seeing my friends and family members. And that is what's helping me right now because God made me strong in this field. Yes, I originally made this YouTube channel to react to videos, and if you know my channel's name, I react to My Little Pony videos, and episodes, and anime, and cartoons, TVs. But God said, "Do honor me in this. What you're doing, just just like His philosophy, honor God in what you're doing." So I'm honoring God in what I'm doing. If I don't want to be a career YouTuber making money with it, but this is still a hobby, but I can still honor God with the hobby. And so I've lost my place because I don't know. I didn't know what I was saying. But this video is probably going to be long because I'm just going to keep rambling on. But I'm really sorry, but it's probably something that somebody needs to hear. And then finally, I'm sorry, two, the final two. One is he saw where God can get you where you need to go. He shuts doors and opens doors. And he saw, Coach Grant saw the door did not close on the football team. He did not get fired, and God did not close that door on him. And God even sent a preacher. A preacher. I'm making sure that's the right name, and that's the right person. Somebody to go and tell him a Bible verse in Revelations, and I completely forgot the Revelation verse. I really wish I wrote these verses down. Oh well, nobody's perfect. As you can see when I'm rambling and stuttering stuff. And I lost my thought. He sent somebody to Grant to tell him a Bible verse and said, God is not done with you yet. You still have an open door leading these teenagers. Lead them to God. And he saw that God needed him in that field. And so he stayed at that field. I'm getting so intense that I'm hitting my mic. He stayed at that field and did God's work. The final one, and the most important one, probably the number one message of this movie is Coach Grant saw that nothing is impossible with God. Nothing. He saw when the doctors said that he couldn't have a child, God said, no, I'm going to make it possible. And he gave him a child. Everyone said, oh, this football team can't go anywhere. They went to state and won against a team of built 86 players to their 32. Saw that determination and motivation wins over brute strength. And saw God do miracles in that team. Saw people get led to Christ in that team that weren't accepting God's gift. But all Coach Grant had to do was say, I would really hope that one day you find out how much he loves you. And that just that sparked something in this kid, and I'm going to talk about this kid because he's one of the people that just turned his life around because of God, and it's amazing. He saw that nothing is impossible with God, and I will tell you that nothing is impossible with God. You think, oh, he can't do this. He can. Oh, I'm doing this. He can get you through it. I'm in a financial hardship. He can get you out of it. All you have to do is, if you're not saved and you haven't accepted his gift yet, all you have to do is accept it. He's literally holding out his hands. He's wide open. He will not turn his back on you because he did not turn his back on me. When I turned my back on him, he kept chasing me. And the voice, he kept saying stuff in my head like, hey, you need to do this video. And I'm going to be honest, this video right here, he told me to do about 2 months ago. And when I was still in college. Before Easter. That's how long that was. And I put it off. I kept giving excuses. I have no excuse for it anymore. Because I'm doing it now. And literally, it's 10 o'clock at night. I had so long to do this today. My equipment kept messing up. I hadn't set up my equipment. The devil was just pushing into me saying, you can do this later. You can do this later. Oh, this is messed up. Oh, it's not going to work. Oh, too late. You need to clean your room because the viewers are going to think it's messy. You need to do this, do this, do this. I thought the mic wasn't working because it wasn't doing it, but it was just turns out my earphones weren't working. So many things that the devil was like, you can't do this, or I'm too tired. Like I said, it's 10 o'clock at night. But I finally said, no, you're right. And my mom helped me because I was about to go to bed. And my mom said, no, you have put this off too long. One more day, you can't put it off another day. You cannot. And she's right, I can't. So I'm doing this now, and I'm doing this right here, right now. That's what I meant to say. All right. Well, that's all about Coach Grant. The next character I want to talk about is David. David, he was a transfer student, and he came into the football team because he wanted just to try something. And Shiloh and the school didn't have soccer, and he was really good at soccer. He kept getting better at it, but he doesn't have a soccer team. So his dad said, "Hey, why don't you try out for the kicker? Why don't you try out for kicker?" And he said, "Oh, okay." Because soccer's not gonna come. So he went out, tried for being a kicker, and he soared. I'll tell you how he got there. Before God's intervention in his life, he was afraid of failing. Every single game that the coach, I lost my thought. That the coach let him kick just to try it out. He would always go, I'm not gonna miss, I'm not gonna get this, and he wouldn't. He would always miss. Even in practice, he would always miss. And he kept telling his dad, "Dad, I'm just afraid of failing. I don't want to fail." And his dad kept saying, "That's fear, son, and you need to get over it because you're not going to do anything with it." And it's true. If you keep letting fear get in your way, you're not going to do anything. And again, so many of these things are what is in my life right now. And I'll talk more about it in the other video that is not going to take as long as this one. But I was afraid of failing. And I'll talk more about it. He kept saying, and after that game that he missed, he said, "Did you do your best?" He said, "Well, I knew I was going to miss it before I kicked it." And he said, why do you even try then? You need to have confidence in yourself." And he said, "I don't want to embarrass the team." And then the dad's in a wheelchair. "Dude, I can't walk. What am I going to do? Sit home and pout about it? I can do something with my life. Or I can sit home." He said, "What are you going to do? Don't let fear get in the way." Second thing is he wouldn't take risks. In the beginning, he kept saying, I can't make a 45. And then his dad said, I bet you, no, I'm sorry, I can't make a 30. And his dad said, I bet you can make a 40 or 45. He said, Dad, I can barely make a 20. Yeah, but that's with your fear. With God's help, you can do anything. I forgot where I was going with this. Dang, I keep getting off my A game. Yeah, he just wouldn't take risks. I don't really remember what I was going to talk about otherwise, so I'm just going to go on to the next one. Oh, here's a big one. He is big. He's a tall and skinny guy. Well, small in his size. But you know, in football, you got to be big and tough to do everything. And he didn't want to join because he's so small and frail in his own eyes. And he said, God can do so much in you. His dad's saying God can do so much in you. And he asked, why did he make me so weak and so small and fragile? And fragile and weak. That's what I meant to say. And his dad gave the perfect response. He said, so God can show how strong he is. No matter how weak you are, God's always strong. And he can make you strong. Even in your weakest state, he can make you strong. And here's another one. He was not confident in himself. Like, he kept saying, I'm gonna miss. There's no point in trying. I missed. Oh well. He was not confident in himself. Like most of the team, he kept saying, "Oh, we're gonna lose. I'm gonna miss." He kept saying he had a mental block in his head that said, there's no point in trying. We're gonna fail already. So, and that was me. But then after God's intervention, he had more confidence. It wasn't until the coaches went and said, I can see that before you even kick the ball, you've already put in your mind that I'm going to miss. It doesn't. It was so funny how he said it. He said, how do you get, what path do you have to get to go to God? And he said, the narrow one. Yes. Narrow is the path to the way, is on the way to life. I don't remember the exact thing. Wide is the path that many take, and few follow the narrow one. And he said, you can't kick it wide left or wide right. You got to kick it in the middle. Go on the narrow path. Everyone can kick it wide left or wide right. My mama can kick it wide left or right. But it's got to go down the middle, and you got to keep confidence in yourself. You have to have confidence in yourself. And once you got over that mental block, he kept shooting straight every single time. After that, he got more confidence in himself, and he saw how God used him. He saw how God used him in an impossible way. Again, spoilers, in the final moments of the game, of the state championship game, the kicker got hurt because they did a foul. They did an illegal play and injured him on purpose, so he couldn't kick. And so David had to kick a 45-yard field goal. And he's just like, Coach, I can't do it. I can't kick that far. I can't do it. And when he got up there, he just went. He got that mental block again. He had that mental block again. And so the coach called him back and said, you can make this shot. He's like, Coach, I can't do it. I can't kick that far. And the coach said, look, do you think God can help you make this kick? Yeah, if he wants to. Well, then let him help you. Get that confidence and go out there and kick that field goal. You can do this. And literally, that small and fragile and weak kid kicked a 45 field goal with the help of the wind, because the wind changed the last second. Because he had to get kicked in the wind, God changed the wind direction, and it went straight through the middle. And there's something else that the coach hammered onto him. David, come here. I just saw God do a miracle in you. So tell me, what is impossible with God? And he said, nothing. Nothing is impossible with God. He can use anyone to do his work. And Saul learned nothing is impossible, because nothing is with God. The next one is Matt. Matt is the character that I said did a complete 180. Yeah, this video is going to be probably an hour long, whatever. He did a complete 180 because God changed his life. Before God's intervention, he was arrogant. He didn't respect or listen to his father. He didn't accept God's love or even realize it. He was so arrogant that he was the class clown. Sorry, no, that's another person. He was so arrogant that he didn't listen to his father, because he's like, he doesn't know. You don't know my father. Stuff like that. He didn't respect his father. One time, his father said, "Hey, let's go home," and he literally turned around and said, "No, Dad, I'm leaving. Bye." And like I said, the only thing that changed his way was God, because he did a 180. He literally turned around and went towards God. And before that, Coach Grant went and went personal with him. He said, "You need to respect your father more." He said, "Why? You don't know my father. He's just arrogant as I am." He's still your father, and you should listen to him. He's like, and they kept going on. I can't remember, but he said something about Jesus' love and that he's still the Father. And he's like, do you believe all that Jesus and love and all that stuff? It's like, yes, I do. And I hope one day that you accept and realize that how much God loves you. And he accepted it. And he did not realize it on that day. But then after God's intervention, he did. After God's intervention, he accepted Christ into his life. He started respecting his father. He literally went to his father's office and said, "Dad, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I've not been respecting you, and I've been arrogant. I've been disrespectful, and I'm really sorry. And I just want to tell you that I got right with the Lord today, and that right now will respect your authority and do whatever you want me to do." All right, that's all I wanted to say. And if any of you are dads out there that are watching this video, you know how that feels when, or if you want that feeling. Because I don't know how that feels, but some dads out there know that, man, if only I can have my child say that, or man, I'm glad my child said that. I'm glad my child respects me, stuff like that. That was very impactful. And then it changed his whole life. It changed the way he looked. He regarded life. He looked at the team. He looked at football. It changed everything. It changed the way he looked at everything. Words are messed up. And then learned and experienced that all things are possible through God. Because that's all. It's like I said. That's really the one message that this movie goes around. That everyone in that team learns that nothing is impossible with God, and it's not. There's nothing impossible with him. Maybe it's not going to be an hour. All right, and the last character is Brock. He is a defensive line member on the team, and before God's intervention, he was not confident. And he had failing grades in the class because he joked around, he didn't think it was important, and he just didn't take anything seriously. And literally every game that said that went, "Oh, these guys are much better than us," And right in the beginning of the movie, when somebody transfers to another school, um, that was their quarterback or something, Brock's like, "Oh well, we lost the season." And he's like, "You've already written this season down as a win, a loss, really?" And then in practice, they said, "We're playing this team tonight." Well, like he's like, "You already written this down as a loss?" It's like, "Yeah." And he says, "All right, let me show you how motivated you need to be, or how you can do what you think you can't." And he did the death crawl with somebody, and went from end zone to end zone, and said, "Brock, you have not been showing me your full uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Your best. You have not been giving me your best at this team, and I can see it now." And just Brock, he said, "I need you. If you look, you are one of the leaders in this team. If you look down, the whole team looks down. If you are not confident, the whole team isn't confident." And that changed the way he looked at everything, because he realized how important his leadership is, and how important his confidence in his team is. And then after God's intervention, he had more confidence in himself, and he became a better leader. Again, spoilers. I'm going to say that every time. It's just a habit, I guess, because I really don't need to say it, but I'm just going to say it because it's a habit. Um, the Giants were first down and 2 in the end zone, and because they didn't have any subs, and they were tired, Brock's like, "Coach, I can't do this. I'm too tired. We're too tired." And the coach's like, "I need 4 more downs. Just give me 4 more downs." And he said, "All right, 4 more. I can do 4 more." And they just built a stone wall and did not let anyone through, even though they were sick and tired. They were drenching sweat. Their muscles burned, probably, because they've been playing for nonstop for an hour, probably. And I just don't know how that would feel. See, tired. That's not gonna stop me though. And his leadership improved because everyone, he huddled all the defensive lineup, and he saw how everyone was tired, and he said, "Guys, I know we're tired. I'm tired. I know how tiring this is, but we have to stop them. We have to. We can do 2 more downs. We can do it. 2 more downs. Just give it to me, guys." And they did, because his leadership inspired all of them, because his confidence was through the roof. And it could be with God's intervention, or it just could be because he just looked on life a little bit better. I'm just gonna say it's God. I'm gonna say it's because of God's intervention, because that's what everything has been in this movie. He had better grades. Not even him. Every single person on the team. Well, they showed 4 people in the movie, but I'm pretty sure everyone on the team took their grades seriously. They were faster at math, and the teachers noticed it, and they were like, "Well, what's going on? That guy's supposed to be dumb. He just did a problem faster than the guy who's actually smart. What is going on?" And then Brock got handed a test that he got a 53, and not originally, he got a 53 on a test, but then he turned another test around and made 100, and the teacher went, "That says 100." Yeah, they all saw the change in everyone. And then here, no surprise, here we go. Saw that nothing was impossible. Coach Grant burned us in, and this is how they saw that nothing is possible with God. They were tired. They were, like I said, they were hurting, but God used them to show that nothing is impossible with God. He helped them with that 4 downs that they needed to keep the Giants at bay, and they did. They did it. All right, that's all I got on the movie. I highly recommend you going to see the movie. Um, and I just realized what I said in the beginning and how this goes to my life. I'll say on another video because this video is already 40 plus minutes long. And I'm not going to trim it down because I'm probably not going to edit this at all because it's just going to take longer to get this out into the area. So I'm just going to not do that. And I'm probably just going to upload this and with all its faults and all its mess ups. So yeah, I'll say it again. Nothing's impossible with God. And you can do you can do anything through God's glory. And don't never forget that God won't turn his back on you. He will keep chasing you. Even though you've turned your back on him, he'll still chase you. And I know people are struggling with everything because life is life. We live in a world that's just filled with hate, filled with politics. I'm not even going to get into that. But just praising him through the thick and thin, through all this mess, through the world will show everyone that you are different. You are different. You are not of this world. Well, that's kind of, I think you know what I mean. That you have something that is bigger than this world and that other people need it and other people want it or ask about it. All right, that's all I got. And again, this was just more serious. This is going to go up before anything else because, like I said, this is not going to be edited. So, I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't have anything else to say. And again, I'm not perfect. And if this isn't perfect, leave a comment down below. And say how. And show me that you enjoyed this. And show me that if you want, you can talk to me just down in the comments below. Ask a question. I'm open. I'm all ears. I will get back to you as soon as you can. If you want to learn more about the movie or what I'm talking about, if you don't even know what I'm talking about, like God's grace, like what is that? Comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Because, like I said, if you accept God's love and God's grace, you will be changed. You will be changed dramatically, like all these people were. And yes, I know some people was like, it's just a movie. It's not just a movie. God used those producers to make that movie. So God could speak to me. Just one example. Not 20 years, but so many years later, this movie, probably not even me, this movie is still changing lives. Like I said, this movie was back in 2001. I watched it 2 months ago. And it changed. It changed me. It changed me. It showed me how I was not following God and I needed to do a 180. And I did. And it's changed me for the better. And if you watch that, I bet it will change you for the better as well. Alright? I'm going to stop rambling now, because if I do, it's going to probably be midnight before I stop. Alright? Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said, leave a comment down below if you want to ask any questions. Tell me how I did in this video, if you want to see more like these, because if a lot of people don't like it, it doesn't matter to me. I'm still going to do it, because it's what God wants me to do. Alright, and I will see you on the next video. Alright, bye.